Hey guys, welcome back. It's your favorite Gimp with a Limp. We're going to jump right back in here to a little more Resident Evil 3 Operation Mad Jackal. Play a little bit more. I don't know if we'll finish out the campaign, but at least let you guys see a little bit more of it. Before we get started, I do want to show you guys this. This is not part of the train pack that was a potential. This is actually something I printed out using my 3D printer. And you guys will notice a lot of these miniatures type games have train packs and miniatures packs, things that you can get that have like doors and crates and bookshelves and whatever is associated with the game. Well, if you've got a printer, preferably resin for, the better detail, you don't necessarily have to get those packs because these doors, as you guys can see, fit perfectly on here, right? So... and I can pull this off and it shows an open door, closed door. I'll take and leave them off so it'll be easier to see the miniatures for it. But just so you guys can see, you can print them out if you want to go that route. And I've printed off a buttload of these recently. I don't know, probably like 15 of them that I'm going to paint up. And they're good enough to be used for any game. I can use them for this game. I can use them for old style games. I can use them for whatever game I want to, but it gives the game that extra little panache, extra little flair. So if you got a printer, make sure you check out the file, see if you see anything that you like. All right, so Mr. Barry had gotten himself swamped because I was playing like ass and decided to run from Nemesis. I made some bad choices. Honestly, I was thinking about it after. I could have played this differently, but it is all right. And I'm looking at it now. If I shoot, right, with a shotgun, my best hope would be a crit hit that would cause both of these guys to die. But I don't know that that's going to work, because if it doesn't, I have to get that crit, because if it doesn't kill both with the burst shot, these are going to move in behind me. This one's going to move in. So, and then I'd have one moving on top of me. So I'd have one on top of me, two right behind me, including the Nemesis. And then depending on whatever happened, I don't know. It's like, is it better to try to run past them and dodge? Is it not? Which way do I go? And there's not a whole lot of good options. So we'll just, we'll push on here and see what happens. We're going to go with a shotgun. We're just going to do the shotgun. Hope for the best. Grab ourselves a couple of blue dice here, because that's actually what the shotgun rolls. I'll show you guys the stats for it here for the weapon. And what I'm hoping for is this, right? Because if I get the bullet symbol, then that means it does 1 damage and it's a burst, everything in the square. So it would kill 2 of those zombies in 1 shot. That is good stuff. I am really hoping I do that. So we'll do a shotgun blast. Tick that down a little bit, and we will roll. Cross your fingers that we get this one, because if not, I am going to get swarmed here, and they are going to chew me up really bad. All right, come on. Come on. Give me the bullet symbol. And I got the bullet symbol. Oh, yes. That is perfect. That is perfect. That is 2 dead zombies with 1 hit. Now that I can do. Let me set these there. All right, so that's going to be 3 cards added for them because of the way that works. All right, and this guy's going to move up in a reaction. These 2 are going to move up in a reaction. Now, I don't want them moving into my square, so I'm going to have to take my second action into here, into his square, and hope that that works. So second action will be going there. Now, third action, I could try to run. Yeah, actually, I might just try to run, because this, I would just need a dodge, right? Just dodge it. So we could go 3, 4, get up against this door over here, and hopefully try to get away from these guys. I'm just going to skip the item. All right, so third action, boom, that's my goal. And let's see if we dodge it. Actually, hold on. Before I make that roll, I'm going to eyeball the rule book real quick and just make sure that I move regardless on whether or not I make this dodge. Okay, so yeah, that's right. I have to stay there. I'm attempting to move out, because if I fail this roll, then the action does fail. So let's roll my dodge characteristic. I need any dodge symbol, which actually shouldn't be too hard with 2 dice. There we go. We got it. That is close. So that does mean I dodged. So that's 3. And we'll go 4 and we'll finish out there. And now this goes to their reaction phase. They'll go 1. They'll go 1. None of these guys move too fast. And we will draw from the tension deck, which I did thankfully shuffle up finally. So are we getting a green again? No, we're not getting a green. We are getting an undead hand clutches you from the darkness, accompanied by a hideous rasp. Spawn a zombie in the same square as this character. After spawning, the zombie performs a basic attack. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so I will be getting an attack before I get my next turn in. That is rather unfortunate. But I still have a fair amount of cards in that tension deck. All right, so thankfully, since there are no other zombies in my square, I can do this with basic maneuver. Okay, so we did dodge, and I can push him back, which I could have pushed him too. Actually, I did forget about that, but I could have pushed him when I dodged him. Okay, so now we're back to my turn. I got another 4 actions. Let's see here. We'll play through another tile. We've got Mr. Big Guy still coming on us. Let's see what we have coming. I'm going to spend my first action opening this door here. And we will draw a card. And we got, not too bad, a couple of zombies and a couple of little exits here. Let me grab a tile. We'll throw the tile down. As such, we'll throw it over because I've got it all set to outside terrain. All right, so if we put that there, throw a couple of zombies in this back square. It'll be starting there. It's got another A item. They've got plenty of A items. I think there's been an A item in every tile that we've seen. And I need a door there and a door here. Plenty of doors. I'm just grabbing out whatever first door I find. I'm not too worried about it being the exact right door for the terrain. We'll throw that one there. And we'll close this one and we'll throw it right here where he's going to go. And it's the only time I think the 3D ones will work a little better because it is easier to see. All right. I am fully nice and surrounded here. Nemesis coming up. That was my first action, opening the door, seeing what's behind the door. But I will no longer be on a linked tile if I close this door. So if I go second action, in, third action, door close, now I have effectively cut off these zombies because they are no longer in linked tiles. This, I think, works a lot better when it comes to Operation Mad Jackal, and it's something I should have been thinking about earlier, but I did get a lot of archways here which did not have doors that I could close, so I was kind of stuck like this is all almost one big linked tile all the way through here. But closing this door does help, so now I only have to deal with these 2 zombies. That's not too bad. All right, so it was 1 to open, 2 through, 3 to close, leaves me 1 action. We will take another shotgun blast, see if we can get 2 of these zombies in one go. All right, so let's grab our blue dice for our shotgun. And we got another big blast. Good stuff. Okay, they go down, which gives me another 3 tension cards to add to the deck. Very nice. But that will end my action phase and send me into the reaction phase, which I don't have to worry about them because there are none here that can react, so I just have to draw for the tension deck. Let's draw a tension deck card, see what we get. We got a yellow cornered. Vicious snarl sends a shiver down your spine as you realize your foe has found you once more. It's going to do it again. Locate the tile closest to the active character where there are enemies but no characters. That would be this one. Remove the enemy on the tile with the highest threat level and place them on the character's tile on the closest thing, which would be mine. So he would go there. And let's perform an attack with him. And we'll see if we can dodge it, which we should be able to. We got decent dodge ability. Yeah, we're good. but that puts him right back on top of me. All right, and we're going to just go ahead and pause there because the game will keep playing out kind of like you guys have seen. You've seen some of the bigger enemies. I'm going to scroll through just a little bit more of this Operation Mad Jackal deck to let you guys see just a little bit more of what you run into. We do have the success card, which you're trying to get to. Elbows, we've got, let's see, crows and zombies. A couple of zombies on this one. This one has a giant spider and exploding barrel, corpses, which can cause things to spawn, obviously. Another giant spider, zombie, and this one has a survivor. That's an interesting one. That's where you can potentially get a B item. So you remember as you go through in the video game, there were places where you could rescue survivors. Those survivors would give you good chunks of ammo or special weapons, something to that effect. So they were always worth saving, but it was hard to try to save them because they were usually surrounded by enemies. Zombie dog, not too bad there. A single zombie. It seems like some of the easier cards were in the middle of the deck. Ooh, this one's good. A survivor and a corpse, and it's an archway with 3 zombies. Big area, and it's walled off there, so you couldn't just get right to the survivor. You'd have to kind of rush. This one's got a brain sucker and a zombie. What is it? It doesn't show the zombie. I guess the zombie's right there on the A, maybe. Unless it shows a zombie, but it doesn't show the zombie on the card. Maybe that's a typo. There's potential that is a typo on the card. This one's got a bunch on it. A couple of zombies, survivor, items, doors, archways, a little bit of everything, and then another basic one. So just so you guys can see some more of those Operation Mad Jackal cards, because this I really think takes Resident Evil 3 to the next level. Now, there is full-on a campaign to the game. You can play through a good chunk of all the levels that you remember from the game, more than are actually in the remake, because the remake, like again, did not do well, just did. So plenty of scenarios, and there are extra scenarios in this pack. I'm going to show you guys. It's the Last Escape pack, and this was basically the Kickstarter stretch goals. Let's see, special encounters. So there's the Gravedigger, Burning Building, Nikolai's Betrayal, and Saving the Great Novelist. And then the alternate game modes, the knife only, Operation Mad Jackal, Nightmare, Hard Mode, all that other good stuff. And this, though, it's so integral to the game, to the video game, that I really think. Oh, and it introduced narrative event cards, which are part of the campaign game that I didn't show you. But there are other videos that were showing that, not a whole lot that were showing Operation Mad Jackal, which is, again, why I wanted to show you guys a little bit of that. But this all was like, it's part of the game, right? Part of the video game, which is why I thought it was kind of messed up, like Nikolai's Betrayal. It should have been in the core box. It really, to me, feels like this was part of Resident Evil 3, the board game, and it was sliced off into stretch goals, right? But it makes it to where they can sell it as an expansion if someone was trying to buy all this retail instead of buying the Kickstarter. So they got to have bonuses for people, but I would kind of rather extra bonuses, something else, something that doesn't just feel like a core part of the experience. Now, the way this kind of made me feel a little bit was similar to Hellboy, the board game. With the exception of Hellboy, the board game was a severe, watch my 5-minute review on it. I touch on it, but it was a severe example of that. Getting the game is only worth it if you get the Kickstarter version. I think that this game is absolutely worth getting if you just get the retail version, if you want to play the campaign. But if you like Operation Mad Jackal, you can only get it with the expansion. So yeah, unfortunately, that would be my big gripe with this game. I think the miniatures serve fine, right? The components, cardboard components, the tokens, all that stuff, the tiles, they're perfectly fine. The tiles, the actual game tiles this time, were way better than they were in Resident Evil 2, which was a huge improvement since they did have them way too dark in Resident Evil 2, the board game. Honestly, yeah. If you're into Resident Evil, this game is definitely worth getting. And it's extra worth getting if you can get the Last Escape expansion. Now, I do not have the other expansion to this game. There was two. One was just like an extra monster pack. And then there was one that I can't remember what all was in it, but I remember that it didn't really add to the narrative too much. It was like a few extra little scenarios and monsters. Nothing too intrinsic to the core experience of the game. Honestly, I really think that with Resident Evil 3, the board game, the core box and Last Escape are it. That's really what you need. Anything else after that is just gravy. This game, obviously, like I said, it's going to be for Resident Evil 3 fans, for people who like that dungeon crawl experience. If you want one that is a little different, instead of swords and battle axes, you want guns and shotguns and all that good stuff. This does a good job of that. So if you're into dungeon crawls, yeah, this game will work for you. If you like zombies, any of that type stuff, yeah, this game's going to fill the void for you. And honestly, it's not too expensive. I'm not 100% on if they I do believe they are doing retail. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't, since they did with Resident Evil 2. But I'm not 100% sure on what the retail cost is going to be. I would expect somewhere around 80 or 90 with the way costs have been so far when it comes to games with about this level of stuff. So yeah, if you can get it, I would say $100, 110, maybe 120 for the board game with Last Escape. If you can get Last Escape, yeah, it's worth getting at that. If it's more than that, if you're looking at like eBay scalpers or some stuff, I mean, there are other games you can get cheaper that aren't going to break the wallet. Not to mention the fact that the minis or the pre-sculpted ones, they're a little bit smaller and the detail isn't excellent, right? It isn't great. They do have that cheaper kind of toy feel to them instead of like a miniature model type feel. So cost benefit, it really comes down to that. But if you are a Resident Evil fan and you have been into the second and the third board games, do make sure you pay attention, because they are planning on releasing the first video game as a board game, which I am interested to see how they do that, because that's the one that really started the whole survival horror experience and got us all into this type crap, before they took it down the bad trend that they did, before they fixed it again with all the damn different video games. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Resident Evil 3. Better than I was expecting, wholeheartedly. I didn't have a whole lot of faith in this one after the second one, but they learned from their mistakes. They fixed it up. And the biggest thing I can knock them on is the fact that they cut part of it off into stretch goals expansions that really should have just been the core experience. All right, if you guys have any questions or thoughts, feel free to put them down below and I will answer them if I can. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next one.